Hi, what I'd like to do now is talk about how to reference using the APA style. What we'll do is we'll talk about in-text citations, direct quotes, personal communications, where you would reference or cite a reference within your documents, and then finish up with how to list your references that you'll need to do at the end of every writing assignment. First, an in-text citation where you're summarizing or paraphrasing. You'll just simply use the author's last name and the year of publication. So for example, it's important you use the parentheses, author's last name, comma, year of publication, parentheses. If you don't have those, that's an incorrect citing. You cannot just say, Fields talked about this, I need you to cite that using the parentheses. If you use a direct quote, then it's real simple. You just include the page numbers. If you're doing an electronic type book, then you use the paragraph. Again, short quotes, you simply go ahead and use the parentheses, author's last name, year of publication, the page number, or the paragraph. So electronic. If it's more than 40 words, then you want to block that off separate, which actually works out as a nice way to emphasize an important reference or quote within your portfolios. Last then is a personal communication. This is any interviews or any type of information you've gotten through the lectures, for example, here in this class, or from your past experiences. Anything that's not published, okay? That's the key point there. So here, again, instead of doing Professor Hefty contends the use of educational technology in the classroom, we want you to go ahead and make sure after you give your explanation, again, parentheses, you would be P. Hefty, personal communication, May 25th, 2019. If you're using somebody from your past, a coach, a teacher, a parent, a leader, then just get the date as close as possible. I'm not going to hold you to that, obviously. Again, if you need help, and a lot of you will use things from the internet, go to this link right here. It will exactly tell you where and how to do every type. So that's what I'm looking for you to get done correctly. Every quiz, every writing piece you're going to use, you have to cite correctly, you have to do a reference correctly. So we're going to practice and get this down. The sooner you get it, the more points obviously, but then the easier it gets because you're just reiterating the same structure. At the end of every assignment then, you need to do a list of references, and what's important with the APA style, it is not a bibliography, but it's a list of references, so that should be the header for that. Second thing, when you're doing a book, for example, you want to be able to do the author's name, last name, initials, the year of the publication, then the title of the book. There's a note there if you're doing subtitles, those are in caps too. And then you simply do the location of the publisher and the name of the publisher. So here's the textbook, Sabic, MR, 2017, Coaching, A Realistic Perspective, Lanham, Maryland, Roman and Littlefield, that's the publisher. Okay. Again, when you're listing these references, you want to be able to list them alphabetically. You're going to want to use multiple resources. That's what I'm going to look for because that shows researching effort. It also gives you credibility in your position when you've got multiple resources. So it's not biased. Second thing is if you go to a second line, and just like you are here, you want to indent the second one, and then there needs to be 2 spaces before we go to the next one. So we're at. So alphabetical, indent the second line, and then spaces between each of the references. Again, for different types, again, a lot of it gets into internet type links and articles and so forth. Go to this source and it'll tell you how to do those correctly. Great reference. Hopefully that explains clearly how to cite your references within the document and the different types, and then how to list your references at the end of each of the assignments. Thanks.